Kind of.
Hello, good morning. Welcome in to another episode of Good Morning NASDAQ. My apologies. We had some technical difficulties. I had everything ready to go and set up, and then my computer started going boop, boop, bloop, 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 and then shut off. And then Huddy just had joined, and then he was gone, and then it restarted. So we're here. We're back. It takes me a solid 5 minutes to set everything up, but we're here. So we're just going to get right into it. This is Good Morning NASDAQ. We're live every single day on the Clover Trading YouTube channel. Today's Friday, the 19th day of July, year of our Lord 2024. Make sure you're subscribed. That's all we ask. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button as well, and we'll roll right into it. I see that we do have at least a big gapper to talk about. Correct, Mr. Huddy? Are you here?
Correct. It's
Wonderful.
a cheap one, right?
$2.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Now. All right, we had a couple gappers. I mean, we had three
Can't hear me?
gappers higher than yesterday's biggest one.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, are you lagging that bad? All right, I'll take it away here. Let's find the first one, which is AUGX. Augmetics.
I think this is a buyout, is it not?
Is it? If it is, then that's sad that that's the best one. Let me look at the chart. No, it is. It has to be. There's the chart. That's how we know. Sitting at the same price. That's depressing. Let's make sure
Yeah.
with the news. I was like, oh, we got a big one. Augmetics to join forces with Commuer. I should say probably 228 in there. 235 per share. So we're still trading at a premium. All right, so nothing to do with that one. Not going to be a regular trader. Unfortunately, when you see this type of thing in pre-market, it doesn't mean that there's just a really thick level 2 and it's real tight consolidation. What this means is the stock's probably not trading. You know, it was valued a certain number, and so it goes to that number, and then it doesn't really trade. It's not up like this because of natural trading. It's just they set a price and it goes there and stays there. And yeah, the way to see on pre-market, either go through the file or go through the news and figure that out, or you just see this type of chart and you understand that's what's taking place. All right, well then the real first biggest gapper of the day is not going to be Augmetics. It's going to be SXTP.
60 degrees.
60 Degrees Pharmaceuticals. A biopharm or biotechnology company with a 10.9 million float. Let's see here. 30 minutes ago, they signed clinical trial agreements with all planned trial sites for tafenoquine babesiosis study. They talked about that 10 days ago as well. A lot of babiosis here. Okay. Not a ton going on. That's pretty much biotech news. High across the board when it comes to overall risk. It says offering ability is low. They only have 3.9 months of cash left. They have a price offering from this year. Exercise price of 42 cents. So we have some January warrants at 42 cents, 6 million of them. That's too big. So that's kind of relevant from January at 42 cents. We'll take a look at the daily chart and
Yeah,
see
I mean,
if there's ever days they could have done that.
I'm looking at. Can you hear me, Dom?
Yeah.
I'm looking at Beth Capital, which is the bank they used. Announced closing of 60 Degrees Pharmaceuticals $2.4 million offering. Yeah, 5.2 million shares, priced to the public of 0.385, and some pre-funded warrants priced at 0.375 from back in March. Have we had any considerable volume days since then? Because what, 2.4 million shares? I mean, or $2.4 million worth of shares at 50, 40 cents. It's a lot of shares.
Let's take a look. So that was January 2024. In this range, the stock was trading. Let's see here. Up near $1 kind of faded off. What date was that on?
March
No,
21st.
you sure it wasn't 131?
I'm looking on Walgbeth Capital's website.
Okay.
So
I see. I just read exactly what you read, but it was from a different date. All right. Whatever it is, there has been no significant volume days this year besides most recently. This day here didn't even get to 40. It hasn't even been above 40 cents since a big gap down, which would have been the night before that other offering that I see in there. So I believe those warrants are still ready to go, and that it has not really, they haven't had a chance to exercise those. This is the first time. We're up into the 40s this morning, up 85%. Nice morning spike. Kind of was popping in after hours. Looks like some insider trading. Up as high as 50.
another
right
biopharmaceutical, a great biopharmaceutical.
What do you think, Cuddy?
I think it's trash.
He thinks it's trash.
You know, biopharmaceuticals been hot. That's what we continue to see kind of run. This one a bit more dilution than we've seen in the other ones, and a bit cheaper price than we see in the other ones. So I think it's worse than the other ones for those reasons. But we'll see how much volume comes in.
Yeah. From a long last perspective, not all that interested, just because I rarely ever am on day one. This is a stock that doesn't really have a history of big runs. It's really just faded since its existence has started. It has a little run here back in end of 2023. But with the potential dilution, with the market we're in right now, which has been a little quieter over the past few days, especially with gappers. We didn't even have any yesterday. None of those really ran. It's just doesn't feel like the right environment for that. Feels more like summer trading right now. 45-cent stock, though. Is that something I really want to attack short? Probably not either, but at least there's a little bit more that makes sense there from a dilution perspective. You don't even have a lot of big volume days to go off of to go like this is a stock that has a history of gap and craps or a history of failure. There's just not a lot to go off of here. It is so new and so fresh. So for me, I don't think there's ever anything wrong with just taking the approach on most gappers of just saying, we'll see what it does. And if by noon it's dead, I'll take it off my list. If by 2 o'clock it's up another 100%, then it's something that I'll watch over into next week. But I don't see anything here that's just eye-popping that I really would want to do with it. Huh?
They're trying to cure malaria.
Nice.
They want to cure malaria, and they want to cure dengue fever. They got a malaria preventative treatment marked in the U.S. And they're trying to treat COVID-19, fungal, tick-borne, and viral diseases. And their top priority is the completion of the phase 2B clinical trial to prove the efficacy and safety of their malaria treatment for treating COVID as well. So, phase 2B, that's not very far in their development cycle. I mean, they still have a lot of hoops and obstacles to get actually product to market. I mean, I don't think they're really making money, but I can't say for sure. And that's 60 degrees pharmaceutical.
60 degrees pharmaceutical for you. What else do we got? So we have Serve Robotics, which is up 67% this morning. Serve, we'll take a look. Make sure you post any questions you have in the Clover Trading YouTube chat. If you have any tickers you want us to bring up, this looks like the last gapper we're going to talk about. We should have some time towards the end here. Serve Robotics, 24 million float. Computer hardware company. Sounds like it with the name. AI-powered low-emission sidewalk delivery robots that endeavored to make sustainably and economical. That endeavored to make delivery sustainable and economical. Spun off from Uber in 2021 as an independent company. 20. I don't see any news here. Do you see any news?
Yeah, I'm getting mixed results here. So I see that a major shareholder, Corp Nvidia, purchases 62,500 shares. Stock transaction dated Monday, July 31st. The stock was purchased at an average cost of $4 for a total transaction of 250,000. The insider now owns 2.6 million shares in the company, valued at approximately $10.7 million. So that's a large percentage. But I was actually looking on Webull earlier, and it said like July 2023, and that's what I'd kind of want to confirm here. Is this like, did they buy it a couple days ago, or did they buy it a year ago, and now they just put out a press release? Because my thought on what the intention here would completely change based off the timing of that.
You're
Which is
wondering
something we
the
could
that
check.
date for what? Because this stock wasn't even
Like
trading
on,
last year.
okay, I was looking on Webull, and it said like in July 2023, and so I don't know how
From my
fresh
daily
this
chart,
really is.
which
I'm just
is
kind of looking.
my daily charts have been plenty wrong, but I don't see it trading past this year.
No, it doesn't look like. Looks like it started trading in August. Well, July last year.
Okay, well my charts are wrong.
Yeah, I'm seeing Nvidia Corp ownership filings on BAMSEC on July 18th. So I think it's fresh. And that Uber Technologies thing you were talking about, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a spinoff. It is interesting. Taking a look at the daily chart, who knows if it's right, if that's what you're telling me. At least the intradays will be right. Spiked up yesterday and after hours at like 5 o'clock. 280 to $5. Trying to hold up right now above 4. What do we think, Huddie, when we get to the daily chart, since yours is probably better than mine?
I think this is more of like a real company. It seems that Uber owns 5.2 million shares through Postmates, and Nvidia owns some shares. I still think it's sketchy. I always think stocks under $10 are sketchy. I think it's safe to assume most of them are up to no good. But bigger market cap, some real companies have shares that, whether they can sell them or not and make money, that's not something I really know off the top of my head. I'm just kind of reading through it right now. You don't have the chart up?
I have a chart, but I don't know if it's right. If you're telling me it was trading last July, I don't see that. So
No. It looks like it's just filings go back to last August.
okay, just not really that interested here for me. Up 65%. I kind of get that vibe as well. That it's a more real company. It's kind of low across the board. This year though, I believe it was an uplist from the OTC. So that's kind of interesting. So it's kind of a mix between, I don't know how real it really is, but the fact that the first line in their informational page on dilution tracker is backed by Uber and Nvidia. It's kind of like that's what they're trying to use as accreditation versus what they're actually trying to do. So I don't know if it's how real it really is, but the daily chart I see looks pretty weak. It has it's struggled to get over 4, 5, 6 all year. Already today is going to do more volume than any other day on the chart. Not really anything here long bias for me. Again, don't really like day ones unless there really is something clear and obvious. Like it's a stock I watched a month ago that broke out and ran, and then now we're gapping up into that area on massive volume. In these cases, these are stocks I'm seeing for the first time, and so rather just let them be. Always probably more likely to take shorts on them for gap and craps if they are up enough in the morning and have some history of failure and some dilution. But this one, I just kind of feel like it's a tough read, and it's only up 66% on the day. That is Serve Robotics. If you see delivery robots outside your house, it could be them.
You think that the little carts like flying around these days?
Cards?
I don't know. It's in Los Angeles. You'll see like little like Uber Eats, there's robots that deliver it to you. It's not cars. It's like a
No,
little
stop it.
robot cart. Yeah,
Wow.
it's all over LA.
I don't think that's coming to Michigan anytime soon.
Probably not.
We do things the old-fashioned way, okay? By hand.
That's
Um,
good.
it's decent. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button as well. I saw some stuff in here. Austin says, "Are you looking for a certain type of news with biotech's Huddie?"
Am I looking for a certain type of news?
Like, I guess in general,
Like in order to do what?
something.
I think I think certain types of news probably deserve more credence. Like, FDA approval, I'm gonna think is a bit different than like a phase 1B trial because again, like you have to get through all the phase trials in order to get FDA approval. So that's a little bit more bullish, in my opinion. A little, not a lot. Like a phase 3 would probably be more bullish than a phase 1, just given the progression of whatever they're trying to bring to the market. Again, like when I'm looking at SXTP and they're trying to bring a drug to the market to cure COVID or to help with COVID, uh, it's like you're a little late, sir. Um, we have we have like great preventative medicines and medicines that will lessen the let alone vaccines, but medicines that will lessen the
Let alone natural
effects of
immunity.
COVID. So right, so it's like, yeah, you're a little late, sir, and I don't know, if it's really worth it for them to invest all this money to bring that drug to the market, um, because like you're still not going to win. So I don't know if I'm looking for anything. I'm just trying to understand the story and understand what the company is. I still think it's crap.
Okay. Couple more. Kent says CYN for first Green Day. I don't know. It's kind of tricky. It's a nicer little 3-day breakout that we've been seeing over sevens, up into the tens. Problem I kind of have with it is multiple things. One is volume. What was yesterday's average price? Like 6 times 200,000 volume. That's like $1 million volume, right? Like 1.3. So that's not great. I don't remember there being a ton of interest here anyway when this was running because it never really came across my desk till after it had already done that. It's kind of green every day, it looks like, and then goes further red. So it's kind of tough to actually have a trigger. And then another problem is like I like to break. If I'm buying first green days on breakouts, it's generally a good thing if they go so far past the breakout level that when they come down, they're still 50% off their eyes, but they're also above the breakout level. In this case, like we didn't go that far. We only went from 780 to 1050. I know this Green Day starts at $6, but we've really only pushed a little bit percentage wise and dollar wise past the breakout level. So now it's kind of like we're sitting where there's resistance overhead above the breakout level and resistance below the breakout level. So I feel like it's more of an uphill battle. If you delete the first couple days, it's probably not that bad, but this is the trend I'm looking for: lower highs and new lows, and starting to base now in the 650 area. Maybe it's one to keep an eye on for a bounce. It's hard to say yes or no to these just because so many. I decided not to do VRPX the other day, right, and ended up being one of the best bouncers of the day there. And that one was super low volume the day before. 1 million on a dollar stock. So you kind of got to be picky and choosy, but that definitely is the trend that I'm looking for on CYN. I just don't, there's a decent amount of range here. Maybe it's something to look at if it sets up well enough, but volume's always going to be the top priority and concern. So keeping an eye on those spreads going into the morning as well. All right, it's Christmas. It's Christmas. 123 Drummer Max says, Dom, did you take the NAS breakout yesterday? I did. I lost on it once and then kind of tilty bought it again, and that ended up working out really nicely. Yeah, I really don't like when breakouts go right into the breakout level as fast as possible, like in a 2 or 3 day bounce move like this, because when we're at the breakout level on that day with volume, I can't wrap my head around bounce short or breakout. And then, so I think it's kind of better to just kind of always do one and live with the consequences versus kind of like, I think this one's a bounce short. I think this one's a breakout. And this is, I don't know if this is China. We keep saying it's China. When I look at It is China. This is the different one I was thinking of. Okay, this is China. So it's already sketchier, which technically kind of adds credence to the breakout. Whenever he's like, I remember NNE, was that the one that you were mad about, Huddie, that we didn't take seriously? Whenever you have that kind of extra bit of, people sitting on the bid or wanting it to go higher, I feel like it only helps. And I feel like this has been a horrible market to short in recently. Like besides Zap, I can't remember something where it's like a really obvious first red day or something that actually faded. Things just keep coming back. And so really nice break there. That's going higher today. Wow, 16, 17% up on the day. Nice to see. We're never upset when we have runners. William says AMIX breakout. Another interesting one. This is what I'm talking about. I feel like in most markets we see most of these day ones that do 100, 200, 300 million volume and go from 50 cents to $1.80 are working their way towards their lows. And these stocks just keep coming back. We saw it with Tickle F yesterday. It's not one that I took, but one that I saw. It's just like they're not going lower first. They're just kind of hanging around. Like that meme. I'm just hanging around. That's what these stocks are doing.
My least favorite type of market.
Is it really?
Yeah, I hate it.
Well, it's a good thing you're on a boat.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, that's the show for this morning. I'm going to get over and post that watch list for you guys. I wanted to go to bed last night. And I'd already done my numbers, so I didn't go back down to the office. So I'll get that out for you guys, all you 3 and 4 leaf clovers. If you want access to that, clovertrading.io. And that's the week. That's the week. We were here for every single session and Wine Wednesday. So it was awesome. Thank you, Huddie, for being here on your boats and making time for all of us.
I heard Grittani was on Wine Wednesday.
He was. He was in the chat again, and then we got him, and he answered some questions. It was awesome.
You guys should definitely go back and probably watch, and I don't know when he jumped in, but maybe the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It's on our YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button, click the like button. If you like what we do here for free, going over Good Morning NASDAQ, going over gappers, having guests on Wine Wednesday, you guys can definitely find some good, valuable knowledge if you just subscribe and keep up to date with what we're posting out there for the public.
Agreed, everybody. Stay safe, stay disciplined, be the best version of yourself you possibly can be today. Take it one trade at a time. Enjoy your weekends, and we'll see you Monday morning, 8:45 a.m. right here on the Clover Trading YouTube channel for another episode of Good Morning NASDAQ. I'm Dom, that's Huddie, and we're signing off.